You have something special. You have greatness in you. I want you to like this page and share it. I got a message for you for something that's on my mind. I want to share with you on this beautiful, beautiful day. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I want you to think about the fact that this is the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter. And I want you to think about finishing strong and preparing for 2023. And something that I'm encouraging you to do, and I want you to like this page and share it. I want you to ask yourself some questions. And just about three. One of them, where you are right now. Is it what you anticipated when you started the year off? Is it alignment with your resolutions? Because if you follow what I'm going to share with you, if you are willing to give up who you've been, the negative people, the thoughts, and the choices that's produced what you now have, if it does not measure up to your level of expectation, and you know, as Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing in the same way, expecting a different outcome. If you want to create a different outcome, you got to do some things differently. You got to change some relationships. You got to do what Celeste Johnson say, Operation Clean Slate. You got to get some people out of your life. You got to come out from among the people where you are. You know, people who earn 15, 20, 30, 40, 50,000, $100,000 a month don't hang out with people who earn $5,000 and $7,000 a month. No, you got to upgrade your relationships. One of the things when I began to understand the statement, come out from among them, I left Miami on a Greyhound bus. I had too many poor people in my life, okay? Family members and friends. I had to get out of there. Why? God said to Abraham, get up and go to a new land. Sometimes you've got to change where you are. A place, you got a place that is your place. Trust me on this. The things that I've accomplished, I would have never accomplished those things in Miami. I had to go to some other place. You have a divine place. And there are certain relationships you'll never, ever do anything with those people. Why? Because they're not the one. Where you are is your rightful place, where your thoughts, your thinking, and your choices have brought you. Where you can be is your true place. Come on, somebody. I'm coming. Just slow down. Just slow down. I'm coming. I'm coming. Yeah. I mean, think about it. It's this fourth quarter. And so you want to look at your life and say, wait a minute, what got me here? Because you don't want to get to the end of 2022 and say, oh my God, I didn't do all the things that I was capable of doing. No. Evaluate, because there are certain places, there's certain choices, there's certain behaviors, there's certain people that you just don't need to be a part of your life. Let me give you an example in my own life. Like, for instance, I got up this morning and I take the medication that they had placed me on. Notice I didn't say my medication. I'm not claiming it. The medication they put me on. My goal before the end of the year is to be off all medication. What major goal do you have before the end of the year so that you can look back and say that 2022 brought out the best in you? I'm not asking you to have 4 and 5 different things that you'll focus on. I'm just saying to you and just requesting what major area of your life in mine, I'm focusing on my health, mine making cancer history, mine getting off all this medication. I've been able to get off my insulin. Why? Because I'm focused. I want you to put down focus. Focus on one thing that's important to you, one thing that will make a dramatic difference in your life, one thing that when you accomplish that, you can pat yourself on the shoulder and say, I've done good. Because at the end of the day, life is about choices. Choose ye this day whom ye shall serve. But most of us, and I'm using myself as an example, for a long time, I was just coasting toward an accelerated end. I just decided I'm going to be mindful. I don't want to take medication for the rest of my life. I don't want to be sticking myself for the rest of my life. Then what are you going to do about it? I dramatically began to focus and tune everything else out, saying my health is my wealth. That sounds nice, rhymes, nice. And I'm backing it up with action. I'm mindful of what I eat. I'm mindful of my state of mind. I'm mindful of my peace. What is it you're going to do? What differently? How you're going to show up? We're in the fourth quarter. And I want you to write this down. It's time to close chapters and turn the page. Come on, somebody. Yes, it's time. There's some chapters you need to close. They've gone beyond their expiration date. Some people come in your life for a season, some for a reason, and some for a lifetime. And when I made a list of the people that I communicate with, there's some calls I don't take anymore. Why? Because it's a gimme call. Yeah. That if you look at it, the majority of your calls are gimme calls. There's a limited number of people saying, hey, I got something for you. Just look at the ratio. Look at it. Evaluate it. You have people who are always there when they need you. Life ain't playing with us, and we don't need to be playing with life. Come on, I'm telling you, I'm not making this stuff up. Life is for laughing, loving, and living. It doesn't have to be all that complicated. I'm telling you. This is the time you don't want people who get on your last nerve and stress you out being around you or in your ear. Come out from among them. And don't try to change them. A person changed against their will is of the same opinion still, that they are okay just as they are. You have no right to weigh in on how they live their lives. I don't care if it's your children or your family members, friends. No, people got a choice. That's what God has given us all, a choice. And their choices, a friend of mine, Patricia Wingard out of Columbus, Ohio, the choices and consequences. Listen to me. Listen to the old rascal. Yes, I've been on the planet for 77 years. I know some stuff. Now listen, I'm looking for some people. I'm looking for the few. This is not for everybody. I'm just looking for the few. You know what I decided to do? What did you decide to do? I'm going to build a culture of greatness. People who have goals and dreams, people who want to do something dramatically different with their lives, who want to finish the year strong, people who want to get a jump start on 2023, people who have things that they want to accomplish to improve their health, improve their relationships, get a game plan and a blueprint on how they can begin to bring out the greatness in them. If that's you, touch the link above. That's all. It's not for everybody. It's because, see, and here's something that we must learn to do, and it's not easy. Learn how to become an observer. I've learned how, and it took some time because they call me an empath. Most people, ladies and gentlemen, won't participate in their own rescue. I have a friend, I sent some videos on people who've made dramatic changes in their lives and who had lost a lot of weight, and they had instructions on how they did it. So I sent this to a friend of mine, way over 400 pounds. You know she asked me, are you calling me fat? I said, no. I didn't call you nothing. I just sent you some stuff that I thought maybe that you might be interested in. No, I did not call you fat. And I'm saying to myself, did this person ask me that question? This person who came to my house and sat in the chair, and the chair broke and said, oh, hell no. The chair broke. The chair said, what the hell's going on here? I'm sorry. You can't make this stuff up. Okay, you can't make this. Anywho. I'm sorry. I'm having a hot flash. I call it my power surge. So if you like to have fun, if you want to learn how I earned my first million against all odds, you ever hear politicians talk about the middle class? They never talk about the 1%. They don't want you to become the 1%. I'm a part of the population who's earned over $1 million. That's just 1% of the population done that. I've done that. You come into the community, if you give me 1 year with you, see, your network, and George Frazier said this best, your network determines your net worth. Did you hear what I just said? Your network determines your net worth. And when you're in a community with me, with like-minded people that are focused on their dreams and improving themselves, people who are tuning out the negative, toxic behavior and people that will compromise your power. We have energy, all of us. And that energy, if you don't use it well, it will work against you. If you use it well, it will help you to take responsibility for your life and create the kind of life that you're proud of. I'm telling you what I know. And if that's you, come on, join me. Can we see the comments? You can put that down now. You see comments? Have them ask me some questions about something. And so if you got a story and you want to be a part of the community, because we're going to share with you strategies on how to tell your story, how to monetize your story, how I got from zero to hero. I love these little things that rhyme. They are so cute. Whatever. If you want to learn techniques and strategies and how you can become more influential and impactful in your style of communication, if you want to learn how to talk to the world, I can teach you how to do that. I've been around the world, and all I had going for me was my story. And if you're ready to do something with your story, make a difference, push humanity forward, a story that can help people understand that where they are does not have to become their destiny. Push the link and join my community, the Les Brown Greatness Community. Yes, it's going to dramatically change your income, change the quality of your life. You're going to upgrade your relationships, and you're going to let some relationships go. Why? Life is like an elevator. The higher you go up, you have to stop and let some people off because they don't want what you want. They don't dream like you dream. I remember in Chicago, I used to give this lecture at Christ Universal Temple Church, and I saw this guy come, and his wife was seated on one side, and he was on the other. And I asked him, I said, man, I said, why aren't you over there with your wife? He said, well, she left me because she said, I don't want anything. I said, I'm sorry to hear that. Now, as I was approaching her, she said, I heard what he said. She said, I didn't leave him because he didn't want anything. I left him because he wasn't willing to do the things necessary to grow so we can create a different kind of life than what we had. He'd settled for where we are. And I know we can do better. He's smart, he's intelligent, but he doesn't have hunger. He doesn't have drive. He doesn't have perseverance. He doesn't want any more than what we now have. And I don't want to settle for that. I know we can do better than this. And I'm tired of arguing. Have you ever just got tired of arguing with someone that's supposed to be leading you, and they're in the back doing nothing but the same thing over and over and over again? Have you ever looked at where you are and just said, this is not me? That's what I did in Miami, in Liberty City, overtime. I just said, look, Good Bread Alley and Bucket the Blood, the expressway goes through that now. That's gone. I just said, there's got to be more. Have you, let me see some signs. Let me see some fire. Have you ever said there's got to be more? I remember cleaning homes and cleaning apartments on Miami Beach. And I just said, one day I'm going to be able to stay here, not just come over here to clean up. Woo! And I've stayed in several places, several condos, hotels, and whatsoever you can think of. See, life is about having the courage to make your life a daring adventure. Live before you die. Life ain't playing with us. Decide that you're going to take life on. Stormy, I like to refer to her as Dr. Stormy Wellington. She had an event this past weekend for women. Girl, hold my hand. And it was an eye-opener. It was one that caused the women there to dream a bigger dream. Most people don't have any dreams at all. They're just working to survive. What it takes to live and what it is required for surviving are two different things. These are people who said, you know, I'm taking a chance on me. I don't know if I'm going to make it or not, but I'm going to walk by faith and not by sight. I'm reaching for the greater in me. Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. I'm willing to upgrade my relationships. I'm willing to step away from the life that I've been living so that I can begin to create the life that I deserve. Have you ever seen people and you ask yourself the question, how can they live like that? Here's what I learned. When you stay in a toxic, negative environment over a long period of time, you have to ask yourself the question, what kind of person have I become because of this? Because that abnormal environment will become your new normal. You stay there long enough, you won't even realize at some point in your life you'd have found that repulsive. I had an apartment that I had near the airport, and I rented it from a friend of mine, Jackie Collier. And I said, girl, I can't stay here. Look at these airplanes coming over constantly. She said, you stay here long enough, I guarantee you won't hear it. She did not lie. And people who would come visit me said, how can you stay here? And these airplanes flying constantly, don't you hear it? And I said, no. Because I'd been there so long, I had tuned it out. You can be in an abusive relationship so long that it becomes your new normal. You can be in a situation and an environment that's beneath you, and you be there so long that it becomes you. It's one thing to be in something, it's something else when that something gets in you. The only people that can hear me are the people who've said, in their heart of hearts, and where your heart is, there your treasures also, I can do better than this. If that's you, if you're on fire to go to another level, push the link on above. You just give me 1 year with your life, and I guarantee you'll never be the same again. No, I owe it to you. I owe it to you. I know, I don't know how much time I have left, but I know God did not have me to be born and preserved for such a time as this, just to go to my grave and take everything I've learned with me. He who has ear, let him hear, let her hear. I'm just speaking to the few. Did you hear me? I am speaking to the few. If that's you, push the link and join a brother up in here. Up in here.
There's something in you It says that you're not sitting back waiting to see what politicians will do for you. There's something in you that says, I'm not going to focus on the general economy. I'm going to focus on my personal economy. There's something in you that says the most dependable hand in the world is the one at the end of your risk. There's something in you that says always strive to get on top in life because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. You are different. You have greatness within you. Dr. Howard Thurman, come forth. Here's a man that, after having 238 radiation seed implants, and my PSA continued to increase. In fact, last year this time it was over 1,500, and the little C cancer had eaten 40% of my T1 vertebrae. And I was reading his words that night after leaving Florida Hospital, and doctors had told me that cancer had reappeared, had metastasized in 8 areas of my body. And I began to laugh as the doctor spoke to me, and he was looking real serious. He said, "Why are you laughing?" I said, "I feel like Mother Teresa." He said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Lord, I know you know how much I can bear. I wish you didn't have so much confidence in me." And now my PSA is 0.0. I'm debt-free, cancer-free. Yes, indeed. I stand before you because of God's grace and mercy. And trust me, it's better to be seen than to be viewed. But Dr. Thurman was called upon by Dr. Martin Luther King Sr. He said, "Howard, I want you to mentor my boy, MLK." He was a member of an elite group of orators and mystics and philosophers in his day. He was an advisor to Mahatma Gandhi and to Abbot Schweitzer. He wrote, "Deep is the hunger, the voice of the genuine, the centering moment." He wrote some words that I was reading around 3 o'clock in the morning that grabbed me. He said, "The ideal situation for a man or woman to die is to have family members praying with them as they cross over." He said, "But imagine being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the ghost of the dreams, the ideas, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, and you, for whatever reason, you never pursued those dreams. You never used those talents. You never used those gifts. You never used those abilities. And there they are standing around your bed looking at you with large angry eyes saying, 'We came to you, and only you could have given us life. And now we must die with you forever.' And the question is, if you died today, what dreams, what ideas, what books, what leadership, what voice, what story will die with you?" Miles Monroe, great speaker out of the Bahamas, said, "The wealthiest place on the planet, it's not in the Far East where there's oil in the ground. It's not in South Africa where there are diamond mines." He said, "The wealthiest place on the planet is there you'll find potential never realized. There you'll find books never written. There you'll find abilities and skills and talents and gifts the world never had exposure to." Maybe that's why Henry David Thoreau asked in a moment of anguish, "What if you live your whole life only to discover that it was wrong? That it was wrong. God had so much more in mind for you." Maybe that's why he said, "Oh God, to reach the point of death, only to realize that you've never lived, only to realize that you've never scraped the surface of your potential." Everybody, let us say together, live full, die empty. And the people in this room have decided to live full. The people in this room have decided to die empty. The people in this room have decided to live life on their terms and not to be a volunteer victim. When you say yes to this industry, you're saying yes for a bigger life. You're saying yes, I'm tired of playing small. You're saying yes, I'm ready to be empowered to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. You're saying yes to providing for yourself and your family. There's something that's in you that says, I'm not mentally fit to work for somebody for the rest of my life. You're saying yes to your life, yes to your dreams, yes to your unfolding future. Give yourselves a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause. I didn't do this for years. I would go in the balcony of auditoriums and watch Jim Rohn and Dr. Dennis Waitley and Zig Ziglar. And my heart would beat so fast because I love helping people. How many of you love helping people? Raise your hands. I love helping people. And my heart said, I can do that. But then when I would leave there, and as I was walking to the car, my mental conditioning began to speak. And it would say, Les Brown, you can't do that. You don't have a college education. Les Brown, you can't do that. What makes you think that you have something to say that somebody would listen to you? Les Brown, you can't do that. What makes you think that you can speak for AT&T, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's Corporation, IBM? You've never worked for a major corporation. Les Brown, you can't do that. You were adopted. You don't even know who your parents are. How many of you ever thought about something you wanted to do? You felt it in your heart, and then your mind talked you out of it. Raise your hands, please. I convinced myself that I couldn't do it. I learned something from that experience. Whenever there's an argument between your heart and your mind, follow your heart. There are things that the heart can understand and feel that the mind cannot relate to. Maybe that's why my favorite book says, lean not unto thine own understanding, and all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. There are things that you feel, that you know in your heart of hearts, that's not logical, it's not practical, it's not realistic, but there's something in you that says, I can do this. I can do this. After facing defeats and disappointments and failures again and again and again, there's still something in you that says, I can do this. Operating out of a thinking when life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because when you can look up, you can get up. I can do this. I can do this. When you present and people say, oh yes, I'd like to be a part of that. Yes, they have the personality and they need it, and they don't show up. You end up being a babysitter. You have to be a counselor and a psychologist and a minister. They challenge you to pray to Jesus and Yahweh and Melchizedek and Buddha. They'll get on your last nerve, have you chanting, Nomi Yoho Renge Kyo. It's interesting when you talk to people about securing their future, and you can't help them to become actively engaged in their own life. A friend of mine named Lorraine had me to come to do an intervention with her brother that was addicted to drugs, and he told us to get out of his house. And as we were going down the steps, I said, I'm sorry I failed. I'm so disappointed. And she said something that I'll never forget. I want you to remember. She said, Les, most people won't participate in their own rescue. Wow. Most people won't participate in their own rescue. You have a vehicle that will allow them to create their own job. You have products that people need. You have training and coaching where they'll be in business for themselves, but not by themselves. You have leadership of people who've proven that it's possible you can live your dreams. It's possible you got a shot at creating a fortune. Everybody's not going to do it. We can't predict performance. And all you are saying, hey, listen, here's an opportunity. And don't take it personal when people say no to you. They're not saying no to you. They're saying no to themselves. They're saying no to living a bigger life. They're saying no to what's going on in their head because they're suffering from possibility blindness. They can't see themselves doing more. They don't want to do that extra work. So they're saving you some time. They know they're trifling and don't want to work. Don't try and convince them to say yes. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. This is hard work. H-A-R-D and H-E-A-R-T. Hard work and heart work. You got to gut this out. You've got to know your vitamin. You've got to fail your way to success. You've got to be unstoppable. You have to operate like Willie Jolly, who said a setback is a setup for a comeback. You've got to be relentless when you're building a business. You got to be able to have courage after you face rejection and again and again and again. After somebody tell you they're going to show up and then they don't come, they don't return your calls. It takes courage. Go out and start talking to people. It takes courage when creditors are breathing down your neck and family members saying, oh, there he goes again with another pyramid scheme. Am I making sense to you? What I'm doing. I didn't do this for 14 years because I didn't have the courage. I was afraid of being rejected because I don't have a college education. I had a tremendous inferiority complex. And something else. In order to make this business successful, to go from a 9 to 5 to 5 until you faint, it's a different mindset. It requires a radical change. How many of you know that it's hard building a thriving residual income on a monthly basis? Raise your hands, please. Yeah, that's why most people won't say yes. It's much easier to complain about the economy. It's much easier to complain about our elected officials. It's much easier to talk about the recession. That's much easier. To come up with excuses and why you can't do it. That's where I was. That's where I set up station for a long time. My mentor said something to me, Mike Williams. I want you to write this down. He said, anybody can complain. He said, if you do what is easy, that's complaining. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. Come on now. That's strong medicine. If you do what is easy, complain about your situation, your circumstances. If you do what is easy, stand around and be a volunteer victim like everybody else. If you do what is easy, surrender and give up on your dreams, become depressed and bitter and angry. Anybody can do that. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, keep coming back again and again and again. If you do what is hard, approaching strangers, talking to people in shopping malls, get up dressed every day, going out prospecting, knowing some way, somehow, with a spirit of expectation, somebody's out here looking for an opportunity. You can go outside right now and see some pigeons, but you're out hunting for eagles, and they're not common. And if you do that over and over and over again, somebody's going to show up. Somebody's going to say, I'm the one. Dr. Thurman, I love him so much. What a great writer. He said, there's something in each and every one of you that waits and listens to the voice of the genuine in yourself. It will be perhaps the only guide you will ever have. And if you cannot hear it, all of your life, your days will be spent on the ends of strings that somebody else pulls. And I submit to you that you invested the time and money to go to the airport, to fly cross country. I suggest to you, some of you drove here. I suggest to you, you showed up because you said, I'm going to pull my own strings. I'm going to control my own life. Nobody will ever pull my strings again. Give yourselves a round of applause.
When you talk to people, you make them feel very, very special. When I was the MC of this event, I was a nobody knew me, and you took time backstage to talk to me and to give me advice. How do you do that? To take time, everybody is nervous, you were close to going on stage and you took time for me.
I was working to find how could I get into the speaking industry. And I saw this guy that I had admired for years. And I approached him backstage and I said, sir, I'd like to meet you because I'm interested in doing what it is that you do. And he looked at me with such disdain and contempt. And he didn't say anything and he just walked away. There's an old saying, you can judge a lot about a person's character based upon how they treat someone that they consider insignificant. And as he walked away, I said to myself, Lord, when I make it, any of your children that I can help, that I can have a moment with, and be able to let them know that they have something special, they have greatness in them, when I make it, I will never treat anyone like I have just been treated. I will always create moments so I can talk with them, just as I talk to you. Wow. And so that drives me. I remember giving a presentation at a major corporation, and all of these various speakers who had been in the industry for years, they were there with all of their electronic equipment and they had their PowerPoints. And I had a cardboard visual aid rolled up with a rubber band around it. And so I looked at all of their equipment. I was the only one who had no equipment, just a rolled up visual aid that I had created that night before. I went to the bathroom and I said, Les Brown, you are not intimidated by them. This is your time. You have some value. You can make some impact. And we had to go into a room to present before this panel. So I put my visual aid in the trash can. I went in the room. I was the only one that came in there and had no PowerPoint presentation. So the person who asked me the question, who was hosting it, he asked, where's your PowerPoint? I said, I am the PowerPoint. And he dropped his head like this. And he said, I can't believe this. And so the other members on the panel started asking me questions. And when they finished, I said, they said, is there anything else? And they said, no. And I turned to walk out and he said, Mr. Brown, the reason that I dropped my head, I couldn't believe this. He said, when I was 6 years old, my mother saw you at an airport and she spoke to you and you kneeled down and looked me in the eyes and said, what is his name? And she said, Earl. And he said, I said to him, come closer. I see greatness in you. Wow, do you see this? I see greatness in you. And she said, yes. I said, you're gonna make your mother proud. Oh my goodness. And I hugged him and I said, thank you so much for this opportunity for me to hug greatness. Wow. And walked away and got my flight.
He said, I never forgot that, and I never thought I would ever see you again in person. And I am the chairman of this committee, and this is your contract. You can hire the other ones as subcontractors if you want to.
Wow. What an impact in somebody's life.
When we look at, one of the greatest, no play on words intended, but one of the greatest things that you teach people is that you've got greatness within you. So many people are comparing themselves to others in this space and business and life. What does that mean for somebody to really recognize their own greatness and not always be so concerned with what everybody else is doing? Because we see a lot of opinions on social media and in the news media right now. How does somebody define greatness for themselves and share that, embrace it, maximize their potential with their own greatness?
Well, first of all, self-awareness is very important, Ryan. When I say that you have greatness in you, I didn't always believe that. Being adopted, born in an abandoned building on a floor, being a foster kid, being labeled educable, mentally retarded, put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade, failing again in the 8th grade, no college training, called the dumb twin, that it's an evolving process. We're born with greatness. This is a world full of distractions. This is what is called they call this world we're in now, the attention economy. And as a result, there are things competing for our attention, but very few people take the time to look at themselves, to examine themselves, and to answer the question, who am I? And Mark Twain said the 2 most important moments in your life, the day that you're born and the day that you realize why you were born. And so when we struggle with and get on this journey as you have chosen to do, this journey of self-awareness, there are certain things that you see that you say, you know what? I deserve this. And you elevate the level of commitment that you have to make those things manifest itself in your life. And then there's some fulfillment. And then you go back to self-awareness. Wait, I can do better than this. The best is yet to come. You're not going to settle there. Now you go back to self-awareness to examine yourself again, peak to peak, as Schuller once talked about. And so life is about evolving. And I had a moment just last week. I felt like Mother Teresa, and she said, just when I thought I got a handle on life, the handle broke. My oldest son, he went on a search for his grandparents, and he provided me the information. I'll never forget, I called a brother that I didn't know I had. I said, hello? Hi. I said, my name is Les Brown. What is your name, sir? And he said, George Rucker. I said, I got the right number. I said, George Rucker, my son, he did a search for our family, and I'm your brother. And I was so just disarmed with his response. He said, then that means that you're my brother. You and I got the same mother? Hey, man, we gotta meet. Wow. And my life has turned upside down. Come to find out, my birth mother, which up to that point, until he showed me a picture I'd never seen, was a motivational speaker. Say what? My grandmother, Beulah Rucker, she was a motivational speaker. And they said in this newspaper article I read about her, now the title of my new book is called, You've Got to Be Hungry, the Greatness Within to Win. And this article said she was hungry to learn. Coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous. You can't make this stuff up. And so
this thing that we have to do is listen to realize there's a GPS in us. I know nothing about her, and yet she had a tremendous impact and influence on my life. I knew nothing about her career, but there was something in me that was driving me, and I was obedient to it. It didn't hit my twin brother. We're just 5 minutes apart. I came here looking out for him. He went out first. I said, check everything out. He went out first. Then I heard a slap and he screamed. As I stuck my head out, I was, hey, what's going on? And they pulled me out. Okay. And we're different day as night. But there was something in my grandmother that she passed on to my mother, Dorothy Bell, and she passed on to me. And Mamie Brown, who adopted us, God took us out of our biological mother's womb and placed us in the heart of our adopted mother, shaped and molded me into the person that I am. I was writing a song last night, an old Mary Wells song. I just changed the lyrics, and it's called, I've got two mothers and I'm not ashamed. I got two mothers and I love them just the same. But you can't handle the voice, Ryan. You might faint right now on Zoom, so I won't go there. So this is an evolving process that we have to be flexible, we have to be adaptable, we have to embrace it, and as Helen Keller would say, make your life a daring adventure, otherwise it's going to be boring. And so I have this curiosity about life and seeking and knowing that we don't have all the answers. And maybe that's why we're told, lean not unto thine own understanding, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. And to live with a sense of trust and faith, because faith not tested can't be trusted.
Faith in all things, and faith in a greater power.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Faith it's an oil that takes the friction out of living.
Many of us are facing, in our own way in our life, that moment, right? We're backstage. Some of us have someone that's cheering us on some of the time. Many times we don't. What advice do you have for people, for me, all of us that have that moment on a regular basis, right? And are trying to figure out, we heard how you were able to overcome it in that circumstance. I'm sure you've had to do it many other times. What advice do you have for folks that feel that they know exactly what you're talking about? It wasn't that situation, right? But it's something that feels like it in their life right now, and they don't know how to go out there and walk and go see 80,000 people.
I'm glad you asked me that question. I decided that as a result of my talking to Mike, and he asked me, who do you want to speak to? And at that time, I had a limited vision of myself. I said, I want to speak to the Urban League and the NAACP, and all of a sudden, the phone went dead. So I called him back. I said, Mike, we lost the signal. He said, we didn't lose the signal. I said, what happened? He said, I hung up on you. I said, why in the hell would you hang up on me? He said, I don't want to work with somebody who has a limited vision of themselves. I want to work with somebody who wants to speak to the world. And he hung up again. So I called him back. I said, Mike, that's me. Can you help me? And one of the things I believe, ask for help, not because you're weak, but because you want to remain strong. And a lot of people won't ask for help because of pride. Pride cometh before a fall. Because of ego. Ego means edging God out. And so he asked me, are you coachable? I said, yes. He asked me, are you willing to put your money where your mouth is? I said, yes. And I was willing to invest in myself. And when Warren Buffett, I studied the lives of successful people. Warren Buffett, when he graduated from college, the first thing he did, he took a communications course. Mr. Washington said to me, you want to make it? Develop your communication skills, because once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. And so I saw the value of investing in myself, and I saw him speak. And I'm encouraging those of you who want to speak. Find someone that you admire that's doing it on the level that you want to do it on, because you want to learn from someone who's been there, done it, that can shorten your learning curve. And so I loved how he used quotes, humor, and statistics. And I said, man, can you teach me to do it like you do it? And he said, if I'm a good coach, you'll be better than me. I said, Mike, I'll never be better than you. He said, yes, you will. And he was right, ultimately, because he said, when I give you what I got plus what you got, you're going to go further than I have. And so when we look at ourselves, what's very important that we discipline ourselves to take control of our minds. We're living in the distraction economy. There are all kinds of things that can distract us now. Artificial intelligence, Chat GPT. And so Chat GPT, to me, when you think about that, just that acronym, G stands for growth mindset. That the gathering spot is about expanding your mindset. Robert Schuller said, you either expand or you are expendable. The P stands for passion. Do what's in your heart. We've been conditioned and trained and indoctrinated to look for a job. Follow what's in your heart. Where your heart is, there your treasure is also. Live a life that will outlive you. And the T stands for tenacity. Whatever you're going after, you're going to get some pushback. You're going to have some failures and disappointments. And Willie Jolly, a young man that I trained, he had a book called A Setback is a Setup for a Comeback. I've got a saying, if life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. And so we're now in this space where it's the greatest, incredible time for us to do some incredible things. And what you have done, you and your partners, is so very important. Unless things change, unless people can get this concept, between now and 30 years from now, it will take 280 years for us to develop economic equity. It will take Latinos 70 years. A white high school dropout, according to the Federal Reserve out of Milwaukee, will create 3 times more wealth than a black college graduate. My new book is called You Gotta Be Hungry. They said that my birth mother, my grandmother, she was hungry to learn, and she taught herself how to read from the newspaper that was used on the walls in Gainesville to keep them warm from the winter. They were sharecroppers. And so as we look at ourselves and look out at our goals and dreams, this is the time. We have all the tools that we need and some. People talk about, we're going through some tough times. And I like what Shakespeare said. It says, nothing is neither good nor bad, but thinking makes it so. When you think about what Weldon Johnson said, stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died. Yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We've come over a way that with tears have been watered. We've come treading a path through the blood of the slaughtered. We are the descendants of the ones that would not die. Every time I open up my presentations, I say, you've got greatness in you. And that you now have created a community where people can come, put in the time, the efforts, build a community of greatness that will allow them to turn adversity to their advantage.
I appreciate that. And truly, this thing it's us, right? It's never really been about, we started this thing in my apartment, but it's collectively been a we thing.